This screencast is going to go over the correct answers that go with the study guide that we're going to give you on Monday if you want to do the retake on the complex sentences quiz or test. It was a summative. It was the first summative for the fourth quarter. And we want to make sure that if you want to start off with a positive grade that you have the opportunity to do that. But it is going to take some work. So you should have this completely filled out before you start watching the screencast. This screencast is there for you to check your answers and help you identify any areas that you misunderstood. So if you missed a question, the important part is for you to understand why you missed it. So I'm going to walk you through the same way we do this in class. If you want to use different colors, I think it's helpful for me to see different parts of sentences labeled in different ways. As I told my class when you took your test, I would not go through and just look for all the phrases throughout the whole thing. Do one sentence at a time. Think about the process of what you're looking for and break the sentence down. We've talked about when you look for simple, compound, and complex sentences that you should look for compound sentences first, because you'll see right away that there is either a comma with a conjunction or a semicolon. And if you don't see them in there, you know right away that they're not compound. Now, if they are, we've also talked about with comma conjunctions, you might see them, but there might be a list. So you really have to make sure that there's a subject and a verb on both sides. Then we look to see if there's a complex sentence. If there's a subordinating conjunction, you should box it. And then look to make sure there's a subject and verb after it, because many of our conjunctions, like after and before, as, until, can also be used as prepositional phrases, in which case you're not going to see a subject and a verb after it. So if you can rule each of these out, then you know that your sentence is simple. So looking at the first sentence, it says, if I want to have money for vacation, I must get a job this summer. So looking at this, I see an infinitive, so I'm going to bracket it. I see the preposition for vacation. So now I'm going to go look to see, do I have a comma with a conjunction? I see a comma, but there's an I after it. That's not a conjunction. So I know it's not compound. So now I'm going to look to see, is there a subordinating conjunction? And I see if. If what? If I want to have money for vacation. If has a subject after it, I, and what do? I want. I know it can't be have because have is in an infinitive. It already has a job, so it can't do the job of the main verb of the sentence. All right, so I found my dependent clause. In order to be a sentence, I've got to go find an independent clause. I look over here, I see I must get, so these two act together to be a verb, a job this summer. And so this sentence is complex. We are going to North Carolina for vacation, and I want to buy presents for my friends. So I see to, well, it doesn't have a verb after it, so I know that's a prep phrase. For vacation, to plus a verb is buy, to buy, and for my friends. So now I look at what's next. I'm going to look first, do I have a comma and a coordinating conjunction? And I do, comma and. So now I'm going to make sure that there's not a subject and a verb, or that there is a subject and a verb on both sides. So we are going. We is the subject. Are going, I would accept either one of those as your verb. It's a verb phrase. I want. And again, it's not going to be by because by is in an infinitive.